Pinball is as popular now as it's ever been, and with the benefits of virtual pinball, it creates even more of an opportunity for more people to transition to real pinball machines and rescue, rehab, and save older pinballs from going to the landfill. Variations of pinball date back to the late 18th century, and it was in 1871 when inventor Montego Redgrave U.S. patented a billiards Japanese, a condensed pinball playfield to be played on a counter or a bar top, and this was the birth of mainstream pinball. By the 1930s, pinball machines had evolved into coin-operated machines and were widely popular during the Great Depression as people were searching for entertainment. In pinball machines in that era, you could get 5 to 7 balls for just a penny. Gottlieb was the first coin-operated pinball with Battle Ball, and in those days you could own a pinball machine for $17.50. That is if you could find one. A distributor of Gottlieb, Raymond Maloney, was frustrated that he couldn't get his hands on them to be sold. So he created his own pinball machine, and you might know that manufacturer as that turned into Bally's Interactive Entertainment. The prosperous life of pinball was short-lived as pinball flippers were not yet invented, so the games were a game of chance and became gambling. Depending on how you scored, prizes were offered to patrons from candy to fine china. And because of this, people went crazy as this is wrong. It can be corrupting children and creating addiction among adults. And on January 21st, 1942, pinball machines became banned, and machines were confiscated, destroyed. Even though pinball machines were banned, they didn't stop companies like Gottlieb to keep pressing forward. And in 1947, Gottlieb created the flipper in the pinball machine, Humpty Dumpty. Over the years, pinball machines continued to evolve with solid-state relays. And in 1974, the California Supreme Court ruled that pinball was skill and not chance and canceled the ban. A few years later, New York government was in a financial crisis and was looking at the possibility of overturning the prohibition of pinball machines to bring in tax revenue. It was very controversial as some councilmen claimed that by doing this, it would create crime. But in a Manhattan courtroom, the country's best pinball player, Roger Sharp, proved that the game was skill as he called out exactly where he was going to aim the ball, the same way Babe Ruth called his shots. The city dropped the ban and imposed a $50 licensing fee per machine for the city to bring in over $150 million in tax revenue. It wasn't long after that the pinball ban was dropped nationwide. Since this overturning the ban on pinball machines, the hobby and the machines itself keep evolving. We now have internet capabilities to compete in nationwide tournaments, and while some pinball machines have come down in price to be able to own in your own home, it can still be extremely expensive. Virtual pinball is a great alternative and has a lot of pros. Yes, it's not the physical game, but with haptics and software advancements, it can get real close to actual pinball machines without that pinball machine price. I agree, nothing beats the real thing, but with emulation technology, everyone can enjoy the hobby. Thank you for watching, consider a like and a sub, and I hope to see you on the leaderboards.